Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's video, I am going to do a tutorial on System.io and the things that I've learned over the course of the year. So you don't have to learn that and find out. I feel that there's like little tweaks and things. It's like, okay, I wish I knew how to do that really fast. It's like, okay. So these are going to be my top 10 things. I hope that you learn more about them. Let's get into it. So here is the main dashboard of your System.io's website. So when you actually get new leads in the system, they'll be here. And then live updates is what's actually happening with those leads. And you can actually change how long you could do, like all time and apply, or all of that. So you can see I haven't really done. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's video, I am going to do a tutorial on System.io and the things that I've learned over the course of the year. So you don't have to learn that and find out. I feel that there's like little tweaks and things. It's like, okay, I wish I knew how to do that really fast. It's like, okay. So these are going to be my top 10 things. I hope that you learn more about them. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video on System.io. If you have any real estate questions or information about the System.io platform, drop them in the comments below or send me an email. I'll be happy to answer them. And if you need to sign up, my affiliate link is below. And make it a great day. Much with this site, I only have 13 leads, but so that is that. So this is the main dashboard. So then you click on affiliate. So what is wonderful about System.io is that you actually get 60% lifetime commissions from when someone actually uses your affiliate link. And this is the affiliate link that will be tied to you at the bottom. And you will also have to have a PayPal account to be compensated. So then you have student dashboard. So these are actual courses with System.io that you can actually take. There are different lessons for you to learn different things. And you just like open this if this is something you want to learn. And they have videos, different courses. And then once you're finished, you mark complete. And also with System.io, you can create classes for yourself to be able to have for your actual network. So now we're going to go to CRM. So there are contacts, tags, pipelines, and calendar. So contacts. So these are all the contacts in the system. And one thing that I will mention is you want to make sure you tag what the contact is, because especially if you're having like a email campaign or newsletter, it makes it easier for you to know how the contact came into the system. And so for instance, I will click on this one. So you have to actually click on the email. And so this says, well, the source. Sometimes if you don't have the tag, if you haven't set that up, it will tell you where the actual basically lead came from. So this is actually from the real estate resources page. And then what type of page is it? It's the resource. And then also what actually has happened. Has there been any email sent? Is this person on a campaign that says yes? And it actually has a tag. So this is agent resources. So that's that. So then tags. So you have to create. So this is the thing. You have to create the tag here. You can't create it in another section of the website, if that makes sense. So if it's something that you're trying to do, so in this case, I have like affiliates. I have my book, a paperback, digital book, agent resources. So if I wanted to add something else, I have to create it here. So I will just create, let's see. I'm just going to say realtors because that's my target audience. And then I can say vendors as well, because that's something I could actually do later on. And so that is that. So then pipelines. Pipelines, I haven't really done much with that, but that actually pulls you through different series of like, if this happens and this happens next and so on and so forth. Then calendar. What does the calendar do? So these are like the events that you actually have for your site. So now this is probably, I won't say the most confusing thing that I had to learn when it comes to System.io. We're so used to having something called a website. System.io's definition of a website, they're calling it a blog. So I had to get used to that. So it is a blog. So this is the blog that I have. So you have posts, then you have pages, and then you have categories within that. The categories are attached to the posts. The pages are the main pages on your site. So because I have 17 pages, I have to, in order to get to the top of the page, like the home page, you have to click on 50. Well, I could do 25, but in order for the top of the page to come up first, that's just how it is. It's like wonky. So I'm going to click on this because this is the main title, so you can actually see what that looks like. And I'm going to go over the different things on here. So what kind of things can you do? So first of all, the cost to close, where this element is, this is a section. And then the actual title is, it has in a row, and then there's a text element inside of that. Then here, this is another section, and I have a menu that can actually be changed. And so if I click on menu, say for instance, I don't want this to be the main page anymore. I want this to be the privacy. So then that will change to that. I'm not going to do that. But then you can have a sub menu. So what that is that would be about, and then underneath that, it would be a section as well. So then this, you can also add, so you have text, headlines, bulleted list. I don't really care for how the bulleted list looks, but it is what it is. You use what you want. So then this is in the media section, because they changed System.io a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago, of how it looks on the back end. So this would be an image. So say I wanted to add an image here. So I just drag this. It's like a mountain or somebody laying down. So then I click on this, and then I would add the images to that, and then I would just import. So then you can see how you do that. But I don't want that because it's messing up my page. And so you can actually do buttons. Which I like about buttons is the button could be to say if you're selling something, if you have a giveaway, if you have something that you actually want to promote or share. So in this particular instance, I have an ebook and paper book. So the ebook, it goes to that, and then the paperback. So what I will mention for this is if it's another URL that you're doing, make sure you say open in a new window, because you still don't want them to go away from the main page. So that will open up another window so they can go to that. And then this is another section, and then you can add, these are images that are attached to actual other links on my website. And so you can see all of those sections. And these are individuals. So this is interesting. So I wanted, because this is where all of my books are. So what I did was I added 4 columns. No, first I added a section, then I added 2 columns, and then I added 4 columns into the first column of the 2 columns, and then I added this to the second column of the 2 columns, if that makes sense. And then individually add the actual images and link those to the actual links that you can actually go and purchase that on those pages. And you can also add video. So with video, you can have it automatically play or not. So, but by default, the sound won't be on. The person actually has to click the sound button. Even if it plays automatically, it won't play with the sound on. And also what I love about System.io, say if I want to have this particular section to be able to use it on multiple pages. So what I want to do is click on, yes. So click on the save icon. I want to create a block. So what a block is that's going to keep all of the elements intact that I can actually add to another site. So I'm going to say test here. I don't want to make it a master block. I'm not really sure what that does, but I'm not going to do that. So I want to create this. Then I'm going to show you how it looks. So now I want to, let's see, go back, and then you see elements, we go to blocks. Then my blocks, because those are the ones I saved. And so I'm going to drag this here. See, voila. I could have just copied this and moved it over. But say if I wanted this on another page too, that's what would make sense there. So see, I could just copy this and that doubles that. But I just want to show you different ways. If it was on the same page, that makes sense. So especially if you have like a footer, you can have the main page. You might not want all your pages to look the same. So I will save this and show you what I mean. So this is the main page because I'm in preview mode. This is what my main page looks like. But then this is the about page. I might not want them all the same. So then this is how the blog page looks. So that's a different page. And so my resource page looks a different way also. And then this is actually my lead capture. So you can't do anything unless you actually fill out your email. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to click save. You want to make sure you save everything, and then I'm going to exit. So now what I want to show you is, let me go back. So this is the main page again. So that is the elements. So you can put forms, you can put buttons, you can do calendar, you can add frequently asked questions. Those are your blocks. So these are pop-ups if you want to do a pop-up. Settings. So this is the important thing. So settings. So for your SEO, the title of the actual top of the page. So, but what does that look like? So let me go to the main page so you can see what I mean. So this is like, I would say like the anatomy of your page. So this is where that is. So you see the title, the cost to close, that's what that is. That's where that is going to be housed. Now this description is actually going to be what's going to come up when somebody types this in. They're actually looking for my website on Google. Keywords, these are the keywords that are going to be found for that. And then author, you could actually put another email address in there. So say for instance, you don't want, like, this is just a page that you just want to share with somebody, but you don't want the, you know, the websites to basically crawl your website. That's at that point you would click hide from search engines. So as far as I know, when I first started with System.io, that is automatically checked. So make sure if you do nothing else to make sure this is unchecked, because if you want to be found, you won't be found if it's hidden from the site. And then for tracking, this is where you would put your Google Tag Manager information in here to be able to see what's going on with your website for traffic and all those other things. So I'm going to click save. And I'm going to exit. In order to go back to the main page of your System.io site, you have to click exit. So now these are the blog posts. So blog posts are similar to how pages are designed. So once you create it, you would put the title, put the description, the URL path, that is your main site / whatever it is. And then image, that is what's going to actually be housed on your blog page. And then if what type of category it's going to go in, you would select that. And so I'm going to go in here so you can see one that's already completed. So that's the settings. So this is what, if I was creating something automatically, not automatically, if I was creating something then you would actually, this is what you would see. So title, short description, and then URL path. It looks like I did not do a URL path. Let's create that. I'll just say things to know. And then this is the actual image, and these are the categories, and click save. And so this is what the blog looks like. So blogs, they have special templates that they have to use. So the same elements that you can actually put on the main website, that you can actually put on this as well. And make sure you go into the settings, change the title, because the title doesn't automatically go to this. Even if once you actually create one, it will not go here. So make sure you do that. Okay, so exit. So let's see what else is important. So emails. So you have newsletters, you have campaigns, and you have stats, like what's going on with the stats, like what's the actual percentage of your emails that are being opened, and blah, blah, blah. So newsletters. So why would you need a newsletter? So a newsletter, I would say, in my opinion, is not the same thing as like an email campaign. I would say an email campaign is kind of like what you would use as like an upsell. It's like, okay, well, this is your free giveaway. And then the next email would be, okay, this is what I feel that you actually need to, download or purchase for whatever you're doing in your business. That's what that is. So a newsletter would be, okay, this is what's going on for the month of June. This is what's going on for the month of August. So this is keeping your database current with what's going on in your world and what could potentially benefit their world as well. So that's what I would say this is. So you can have multiple emails in here. You also say, okay, when is this email going to go out? Who needs to actually access it? And so on and so forth. And so campaigns can be separate from the actual, what they call a lead funnel, or they can be attached to that. So that's what I didn't talk about. So sales funnels. So you can have several different ones. So I have one that's called, this is for my book, for the digital copy for the book. And so once you actually make a purchase, you place your order, then that is another email that goes into that. I won't get into the weeds of what that looks like right now or how to do it, because that's more complicated. So automations. So these are the rules. Okay. If you are selling something on your website, what is going to happen next? So, okay, they purchased it. Is it a digital download? What's going to happen? The email comes out, and are you shipping it directly? So you need to let them know what's happening. So say if somebody signed up for something on your website, that you were giving away something. So then, okay, you would put a tag. So make sure you have a tag, because it won't, you have to tell it what to do, because it won't actually generate, actually kick off what it needs to be done. So make sure you tag it. And so once this person fills out this information on this site, then these following things will happen. And if you actually have a email campaign, then that email campaign will kick off the series of emails that you have created, and it will tell the user what's coming up next. And say, okay, well, this is day one of this plan and blah, 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 whatever they signed up for. Or if they purchase something, okay, will you be getting an email with the details of how to download your digital download? Or if it's a physical product, okay, well, we're shipping out your order, and so on. And if you have any questions about that, then we can talk about how to create that. Then workflows. So workflows are, okay, what's going to happen? Okay, this is added, this tag, and then what's next? I want the person to be subscribed to the free chapter campaign for this particular thing. So there's a lot of different ways that you could do. Workflow is pretty much the same thing as a sales funnel. And so these are your assets. So what kind of assets are here? And these are the sales. And you can actually create your own affiliates program for your products. So that is that. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video on System.io. If you have any real estate questions or information about the System.io platform, drop them in the comments below or send me an email. I'll be happy to answer them. And if you need to sign up, my affiliate link is below. And make it a great day.